Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I brought this problem here. So what does it say? We want to solve without a calculator. And what do we want to solve? We want to solve the problem 4 to the third power, so cubed, times 25 cubed plus square root of 50 times square root of 200. And we want to figure out what that equals to. And it is a multiple choice problem, so we are giving 4 answers, which is A, 100,100, B, 1.001 times 10 to the 6th power. I know that maybe if you're American, you're used to this point being a decimal point, but you can either use it as a decimal point or a comma here, so don't get confused. This is 1, 001 or 1.001 times 10 to the 6th power. C, 1.0001 times 10 to the 6th power, or D, this long number here, okay? So we want to solve this problem without a calculator. So let's start it. So what do we want to do first? First, let's look at the first two terms here. And do you see something similar between them? Yes, they both have a power to 3, right? So since they both have a power of 3, that means that we can use a certain rule. We can merge these two terms together because they have the same power. Since if you have two terms with the same power, say example, a to the power of b times c to the power of b, they both have a power of b here, which means that you are allowed to rewrite this as a times c to the power of b. So this is equal to the same thing. So let's do that same thing with what we have, 4 to the 3 times 25 to the 3. So that will be 4 times 25 to the power of 3. Okay? So that's what I have for now. So now let's look at the square root of 50 times square root of 200. So this is actually going to use basically the same rule as these two terms, because remember, square root can also mean to the power of 1/2, right? So if these two basically have the same power, that means that we can use the same rule as we used here. So we can put all of this under the square root and write 50 times 200. So that is equal to the same thing. Alright, so now let's simplify this. So 4 times 25, that's easy. Imagine 25 as in a quarter. You have 4 quarters, so that will give you 100 cents. And this is still going to get cubed. Plus 50 times 200. So to easily multiply this in your head, you can multiply the 5 times 2, that is 10. And then there's total of 3 zeros here, so we'll just add those 3 zeros here. Right? So that is 50 times 200, it's 10,000. So now let's go further. So 100 cubed, what is 100 cubed? Remember, we're not allowed to use a calculator. So since 100, it has these 2 zeros behind it, right, or attached to it. So these zeros, if you want to multiply 100 by itself, you're just going to have to add 2 more zeros. If you multiply anything by 100, you just add 2 more zeros to it. So since we multiply 100 by 100, we multiply it by itself 3 times. We're just going to have 100, our first 100. Add 2 zeros to it because we're multiplying by 100, and then we're multiplying it by 100 again, so we just add 2 more zeros, these zeros here, because for example, if you do 9 times 100, you just have 9 and add 2 zeros on the end. So this is exactly what we're doing here, but except we add the 2 zeros twice because it's 100 times 100 times 100. Alright, so that's what that equals. And now plus square root of 10,000. So what is this square root of 10,000? So the square root of 10,000, we can rewrite this 10,000 as, if you see there are 4 zeros, so we can split that up kind of and make it as 100 times 100, right? Since if we were to multiply this 100 by 100, we'd add 2 zeros and it'll give us 10,000. So, since it is 100 times 100, the square root of 10,000 would be 100, right? So, this is just this number here plus 100, which means our final answer is 1,100,000. So that is our answer. But remember, this is a multiple choice question, so we need to figure out which is the corresponding letter to our answer. So let's look at A. A is 100,100. We have more zeros here. This is 1,100,000. So it is not A. A is too small. And D, if you look at it, it has more zeros there. So D is too big. So now that leaves us with either B or C. So we have to, both of these answers are in scientific form, right? So we need to convert this to scientific form, or more specifically to the power of 10. So how do we do that? Well, imagine that here normally we have our decimal point or a comma at the very back, and this is just normal form. This is times 10 to the power of 0, because 10 to the power of 1 is times 10. So this is 10 to the power of 0. Because we're multiplying 1 basically, or nothing is changing about it, right? If we want to get it times in terms of 10 to the power of 6, we just move it to the left 6 times. So this is how you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is 1.000. So we put the decimal point or the comma at the new spot, so 6 spaces to the left. 100, and since at a decimal, since the zeros are at the end, right, we can just erase them. So we can just remove the zeros that are in decimal that are at the end. Remember, make sure it has to be in a decimal, and then times 10 to the 6, since that's how many decimals we move to the left. So which answer is that? That is C. So our answer is C. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.